Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Music and Beyond. I'm Ernie Crazy Eyes from Primitive Minds. Today, I have a very special guest, Defoe. How's it going?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm great. Just really excited to talk to you. And
Awesome. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, me too, me too. But first of all, from listening to your music, like I was telling you when you called me, holy crap! Like, how did like what inspired you to make, to pick up the mic and to do this type of music, the style that you do?
I don't know. I just like inside I have so much drama. I'm so dramatic that like it's so it's not like a good thing to be dramatic in real life. So it's really fun to infuse so much drama into my music.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about invoking responses, like physical responses from people with music. I think it's really fascinating to be able to do that with audio through someone else's speakers in another part of the world, and then they get to kind of get affected by something that you make in your bedroom or something. There's something about the power of that and the exchange of energy that's really fascinating to me. So I always try to push things to the limit to see kind of like how much of an extreme I can take it there. So that's pretty much my obsession.
And what is there anybody in particular that inspired you to pick up the mic?
The mic? Oh, well, it's interesting. Like, I don't have like the usual like artists who inspire me. It's always like kind of something that they create that inspires me. Like, I really like a lot of film score people, like Ennio Morricone, how he does some of his film scores. He does things a little different. When there's a guitar player, like he makes them strum it really hard to where they like almost break the strings and bend the strings. I also like old school music. Like I like Beach Boys for their harmonies. I like Connie Francis for her buttery vocals. I like I like a lot of things. I don't know. I don't like one artist's full catalog. I like different things that they create for different reasons. Like I like Bjork too. She pushes the limits.
Yeah,
I know.
That's awesome. And that's awesome to know that, a lot of different people, kind of inspired you. So that's great.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And, the first song that I ever heard from you was Something Happening. Oh, man, that scared me. I was kind of, and it was, I listened to that song, during the night after I got out of work.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so being tired and listening to that song kind of woke me up a little bit because I was a little bit more aware after listening to that. But
how funny.
But can you talk to me a little bit more about the lyrics and the inspiration on that song and the video break? And can you break down the video a little bit?
Oh, sure. Okay, so the song "Something's Happening." I actually scored a horror movie last year called 420 Massacre, which is the first kind of taught horror slasher film ever. And it was really cool. I love scoring films. That's like my favorite. And the director was really kind enough to let me own the score. So I wanted to challenge myself and take the most intense scene where the monster's literally chasing the main character down through the woods. And I wanted to challenge myself and turn it into a song. And so I sat down and I just started singing it line by line, writing it line by line. I kept all of the first takes. It just is what it is, and it just came out. And I just kind of used the sense of urgency that I felt through the song to create the lyrics. And then so pretty much the final product ended up being really badass. I loved it, and so I knew that I wanted to make a music video with it. I know it's not single format. I know it's not like super hitty. But I just know that the visuals would be really fun to film. And I did not want to do something typical, like it definitely sounds kind of jungly and intense and gritty. So you would think that it would be me being chased in the woods and just really gritty and dark. but I wanted to step away from that and do a completely opposite visual with a really clean, colorful, sterile environment. And I found this room that lights up in different colors, and that room was created for The Dark Knight. It was the Batmobile room, which is so cool. So I was fangirling out so big on that room. And it was cool because the room almost acted like another character besides myself. And
it really did, yes.
So it was really fun, and I think it turned out way better than I could have ever hoped. Yeah,
that I honestly kind of had a hard time falling asleep after watching that, but I loved it. I'll probably end. That song alone made my playlist, and I heard most of your music. Honestly, all of your music, but not that night because I was already too kind of creeped from the style of music. But I loved the whole album, and it was great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And one also kind of spoke to me was Picture. What was the inspiration behind that song?
Well, for that song, I started with my nylon string guitar and just stayed on one note. I found a BPM that kind of fit with my mood and heart rate, and I'm just like, yeah, this feels chill. And so I just kind of hung on that note, like ding, 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 then moved ding, 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 ding. And I was like, okay, I'm picking up what I'm putting down right now. And then I just, after that, like it kind of created its own life form, and it was kind of telling me what it needed to put on there. So like it needed a certain kind of drums, like super chill. And there was something about the song that felt really chill and vibey and almost positive and lots of attitude. So lyrically, I know that we all go through something where, you know, our parents pass. Like, there's people that are really important to us that pass, and it's really devastating. But it's a part of life, and it's something that we grow from, and we can all kind of come together with that same experience. And so, I think it's the best experience when, you know, you go through the mourning period and someone passes that was really influential, that you really love. And then you're just really positive about it by keeping their picture with you. So it's about someone who keeps someone they love, their picture with them wherever they go, and it just keeps them strong, and it reminds them to be a good person and to just kick ass at life. And it's about just being really cheeky and being like, you know what, I can do anything with your picture. You're always in my heart. I always think about you. And it's just a really interesting twist of contrast as opposed to just sad and mopey. And I love making sad and mopey songs. A lot of my albums has a sad song. So I thought it'd be interesting to kind of put like a inspirational kind of positive twist on being able to celebrate people that pass. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
That is, wow. I'm smiling right now so much because this song is just literally wow.
Yeah,
but,
it's bittersweet.
It really is, yes, yeah. And one more song I wanted to talk about was The Road to El Paso was a really good change to, you know, what we were listening to, or what I was listening to.
Oh, totally night and day.
What inspired that? What inspired that song, and what inspired the way that you created that masterpiece?
Okay, so that one's an interesting one. So I like to be a storyteller, and I like to, I don't know, I think someday I'm probably going to write stories. I'm sure I totally will. I'm a big dreamer. So I pretty much, on the iPad, we were on a road trip driving through El Paso, and I was just dreaming about El Paso and kind of like, what a cool name, you know, and like the history of like what probably went down here. And I was thinking about like the old Wild West before like there was real like, you know, before there was real, what's that word? I don't know. I'm fuzzy brain today. Before there was like, just a justice system, like you kind of had to take it in your own hands. So it's kind of about a woman who had to kill a man to protect her child, and because of that, she's on the run. and she sacrificed being able to raise her child to go on the run, or else they'd probably hang her, because back in the day, a woman definitely could not do that. And so it's about a woman doing, a mother, it's about motherhood, doing what she will for her young, it's raw, it's really deep. And you know what, there's a lot of stories that are set out there in the history books, but I feel like there's a lot of untold stories that we never get to hear. And I like to think that hopefully I tapped into someone's story that wasn't told, and I'm honoring it somehow. I don't know. I'm weird.
I love that because, yeah, people always tell the same stories, but, when I heard your music, it was kind of a different ballpark. If anything, it was an intense ride. Like, you literally have to be clear-minded because, man, your music was so different to me, and like, seriously.
Yeah, it's wild. Every song's very different on the track. I guess I have music ADD.
Yeah, I mean, but what was the inspiration? What was the inspiration to calling your album "Too Soon to Cry"?
The inspiration for that, like when I came up with that idea, I was like, oh my gosh, that definitely is it. It's almost like a joke. It's almost kind of like a play on how sensitive I guess I am sometimes. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
Like I'm a Pisces, so I'm really sensitive, and all my songs, I always try to infuse so much heart and so much drama. Like, when you hear a song, it makes you want to cry, but you're like, no, not yet. I'm in public. Or say if you're in the movie theater and you're sitting next to a bunch of new people or a date or something, and there's a part that pulls your heartstrings and you have that ball in your throat because you're really trying to hold back those tears. You're like, okay, It's too soon to cry. Like, I got to run to the bathroom to do this SHIT, So it's about that moment where, like, you're trying to hold it in until you get to the bathroom to cry or be alone. Because it's just so funny that we feel like it's inappropriate to cry in public. There's something about it that holds us back. Like, society still is kind of weird about it, but showing your emotions. So that's kind of like me making fun of that, Too Soon to Cry.
That was the best explanation ever. But you're so right, though. You hit it. You hit it right. Yeah, that was a really good definition of that. That's crazy. Yeah. That's awesome, though. I like that.
Yeah, or else you're unhinged. So people think, oh, she's unhinged, like, But it's sad. It's sad that happens because, there's a lot of things sometimes. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have that. But people are just so judgmental. They don't know what's going on. That's just how it is. So. Yeah,
it's sad, but wow. I'm definitely going to tell a lot of people about your music because.
Thank you.
We're all a little broken inside, and
Yes.
Music is just incredible.
We're broken and beautiful.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we are broken and beautiful. Yes, definitely.
I kind of see that like all the pain that we go through, we're in the dark, like all of us are in the dark and we just feel so alone, but we're painting something in the dark and we don't know what we're doing. But when the light finally turns on, the whole time you're painting this masterpiece. So there's so much work that goes into the dark depths that we experience, So like, just wait. If you just make it through the other side, there's beauty that you've created in that darkness. So.
Yeah, definitely. That's the truth right there. And do you guys have any, or do you have any tour plans for 2020 available, or is there any plans in that?
We are definitely creating some live shows, but right now, since my album is so diverse and just so weird and odd, I wasn't sure what kind of people would listen to my album. So I'm using this opportunity to kind of learn about my fan base and my audience right now. And it's kind of interesting. I'm getting people from all across the board. So, so I can be able to curate the shows properly. So right now I'm just listening and reacting to fans, just talking to people and just kind of getting to know my fan base.
Definitely. That's a good way to too. And all I have to say is please come to South Texas because I will buy tickets and invite
Awesome.
people.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm very
I remember
excited
that.
to see you perform one day. Yeah, please do.
Okay,
And
I will.
who would you like to tour with?
Oh man, I'm still trying to learn who I lump up with musically. I don't know. There's so many great artists out there, really. Like, so many great underground artists. It's not just the people that you see on TV or hear on the radio. There's just so many great, just artists. I guess like one artist I think I might lump up with pretty well is a new rising artist called Iowana Gika. She's really interesting, really dark. She's very feminine. I think she's touring with Garbage right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to do some more of my research, but like I think strange artists like that who try to kind of break the mold a little bit.
That's I can see that, yeah. And I've never heard that artist that you mentioned, but I would really, really like to check them out because, if it's coming from you and I listen to them and I already listen to the music that you play, I'm sure it's just as good,
Yeah, she's a really interesting person. The spelling is Ioanna, last name Gika. I've been kind of she's been really intriguing me lately with just her stage presence and kind of what she's been doing. So I think artists along those lines.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that to happen because I believe it can and I believe it will too.
I really hope so.
Yeah, hell yeah. And do you have a message to the fans? Something that you would like to let your fans know?
Yes, I do. I feel so strongly about everybody finding what do you really want to do. It doesn't have to be a career. It could be a hobby. Like, what are you curious about? What are you interested in to create? Because you can be doing, like, if you're interested in being an ice skater, go give it a try. It doesn't matter what age you are, like you're never going to be good the first 2, 3, 4 times. Like, just keep on going at it. Like you're not born knowing how to ride a bike. And I think that creating and just doing something that you love is the best antidepressant. Make time for yourself. That's what you really got to fight for, is time for yourself. So that's what I have to say.
That is the best message I've ever heard, and I totally agree.
People give up too easy. It's not something that just you're born with. You got to work at it, and then you get good, and then it gets addicting. A good addiction.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
And do you by any chance have any merch available? And if you do, where can we find it?
I am working on. I'm right in the middle of producing a vinyl record, and hopefully it'll be out by Christmas, maybe 2020. It depends on everything. So, but that's my first merch, and I'm probably going to have a slew of T-shirts with the album cover, and I'll be signing each vinyl record, and that should be on my website, www.whatisdefoe.com.
That's awesome, and I can't wait. I can't wait for that to come out because I'm definitely going to buy that, and
awesome.
I'm interested in the T-shirt too because that's literally all I wear. I'm a merch junkie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And,
I love a good oversized T-shirt.
Same. All my shirts are like a size bigger, so I get the option of. So I can get the option of, do I want to get fat or do I want to stay the same?
Right.
But this is the last question right here. If you were stuck in an elevator with any musician dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
If I could, sorry, you broke up during the first part of the question.
Oh, if you were stuck in an elevator with any musician, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
Okay, let's think about this one. There's so many amazing ones. Okay.
Definitely, yes.
It would be either Ennio Morricone or Tchaikovsky, but I don't speak Russian. Okay, he's a Russian, and I just love his music. He's just so romantic and dramatic, and it comes from the depths of a human soul. You can just hear it, you can feel it. But I'm gonna choose Morricone because he is a producer like me. I also music engineer and produce, and he twists the methods and creates the path. So I would definitely choose him, and I would ask him about how he gets performances from musicians. I would ask how he layers his strings. I would ask him where does he believe creativity comes from, and I don't know. I would hope that we'd be stuck for a really long time. So yeah,
that's
it would be
awesome. Awesome, and I love that. That would be great, and I'm sure you guys could, maybe get pointers and music done together. I don't know. Huh.
Oh yeah, I would try to convince him. I'd be one of those, and trying to see if I can get on his next project somehow or another.
Yeah, I'm definitely always the type of, hey, you guys should make a song together, let's work or let's do something or, I know too many people,
right.
That's why. So, but I hope you guys enjoy my interview with Defoe. I'm Ernie Crazy Eyes from Music and Beyond. Thank y'all for listening to this awesome interview, and check her out. She's amazing. Her music it's beautiful. Stay tuned. We have so much more coming up, and remember, everybody, that without music, life would be a mistake.